Alright, this is section 2.8. Essentially this is kind of a culmination of what we've been doing in the entire section, or in the entire chapter. So we're selecting an appropriate display for the information that we're given. So we want to determine, we've talked about 4 different types of displays. We've talked about a bar graph, a line graph, a line plot, and a stem and leaf plot. So those are the 4 that I have over there on the side. And then I say best use 2, and it gives you kind of when to use each one of those. So a bar graph is best used to show the number of items in a category. So again, remember if you remember when we talked about bar graphs, we talked about when to compare things. So those categories are what you'd be comparing. A line graph shows change over a period of time. So if you remember that first activity we did, we determined was it change or was it a comparison? So bar graphs are used to compare different categories. Favorite car, favorite type of book, those types of things. And a line graph shows change. So how many inches of rain we got in September versus how many inches of rain we got in October. A line plot just shows how many times each number occurs in the data. It's very similar to a bar graph. Except a bar graph you can use different categories. In a line plot, you're using the numbers themselves. So you put it on a number line. And then a stem and leaf plot down to the bottom says it lists all individual numerical data in a condensed form. So it's just a way of listing all the data so that we can find mean, median, mode, and range. So go make sure you have all those things copied down. Because this is essentially this section is determining, are we going to do a bar graph versus a line plot, or a line graph, stem and leaf plot? It's more comparison, or you're going to determine, is the piece they gave us the appropriate model that we should use? So go make sure you have all of that copied down. Alright, if you need to, go ahead and pause the video, but I'm going to move over here to our first example. Example number 1, they gave us the favorite shampoo survey. So all they've done is they've taken 6 different brands. They brand A, B, C, D, E, and F. We don't know what those brands are, but they gave us 6 different brands, and then how many people chose that those were their favorite out of each one. So now we need to decide which display are we going to use. Are we going to use a bar graph? Are we going to use a line graph? Are we going to use a line plot? Or are we going to do a stem and leaf plot? So let's work from the bottom up. So stem and leaf plot, I don't want to list the data. I want to be able to look at the different categories and the different shampoo models. I don't have numbers. These are letters, so I can't use a line plot because I can't plot those on a number line. A line graph, there's no change. These are 6 different things. I'm not changing over time. I'm not showing how many people liked it this month versus how many people liked it next month, so on and so forth. So what we're going to use is a bar graph because we're comparing shampoo A to shampoo B to C to D to E to F. So what we're going to do is go ahead and create a bar graph. So across the bottom, I'm going to put A, B, C, D, E, and F. Now I need to go, you have to start at 0. This is always 0 down here at the bottom. And then we need to make it all the way up to 42. So if I go by, if I go by 5s, we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and then we have 45. And so that way I can go ahead and plot these different things. So for A, for shampoo A, we went all the way up to 35. So this bar would go here. So I just go up to 35 and I create my bar. And again, you can shade those in if you want. You don't have to. Letter B, we only had 12. So now 12 is in between a couple of these. So we're just going to go in between 10 and 15. So there's B. C, we had 42. So C, we're going to go all the way up above 40, not quite to 45. So that's C. And then D, we're down to 24. So it's almost to 25. E, we're only at 8, so not quite even to 10. And then F, we're at 11, so just above 10. And so those are my different. So now I can compare them and say which one had the most likes. Well, that would be C because it's the highest. Which one had the least? That would be E because it's down there at the bottom. Which two almost had the same? Well, that would be B and F because one had 12 and one had 11. So the bars are almost the same. So this is a comparison of one category to another. Which one was the favorite shampoo and which one was the least favorite, so on and so forth. And so that's what you're going to be doing in this section for the homework. You're going to be identifying, if they give you two displays, you want to decide which one works best. And if they don't, you're going to have to create your own. So some of you will be creating line graphs, some of you will be creating bar graphs, some stem and leaf plots, and some line plots. So you've made all of those things, so now it's a matter of determining which one is correct and which one's going to match what you're doing. Okay, so homework is on the calendar for section 2.8. So again, make sure you have all of those information copied down and this example with the bar graph. And you will be working on that tomorrow in class, even though I will not be there.